Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. O Lord, please lead us from unreality to the reality, from darkness to the knowledge, and from mortality to the immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, we were discussing Aparokshanubhuti, the immediate realization of the self. What is this immediate realization of the self? It is simply knowing one's own real nature, or in the present day, layman's language, if you want me to say, I say, it is speaking about my own biodata. What is my real biodata? My real biodata is absolute existence, consciousness or awareness, and the bliss. Sat, Chit, Ananda. The moment when I understand this is my real biodata and this is my real nature, then I am free. Only this knowledge has to become the matter of experience or the fact. To happen that, we are trying to study this Aparokshanubhuti scripture. By studying, what happens? By studying, the misconception, wrong understanding about the self is removed, is destroyed. So that is the reason we are trying to study Aparokshanubhuti. It is just like a prince was born in the palace. For some reason, he was taken to protect him from the enemies. He was taken into the forest, and the prince, as a small boy, as a child, he was left in a hermit. So in that hermit, under a sage, he grew up. As a hermit, he grew up. He used to get up early morning. He used to have a cold water bath, have religious practices, then do the works like sweeping, mopping, then going to forest, cutting the wood and coming and bringing it for cooking purpose, and drawing the water from the lake and studying. All these things he was doing for probably 10, 15 years. And when he reached his youth, he came to know that in really, he was a prince, is not an hermit. He's not a poor person. His father is a king and he is the prince. And the moment when he comes to know, the moment his real nature or the knowledge of his real nature is revealed to him, what change happens in him? There is no change externally. There is no change in his physical outlook, but in his mental outlook, about his emotions, about his thoughts, everything gets changed. And when the reason is told, because of the enemies, and for your own protection from the enemies, your father had taken this decision, and now you are grown up and you have learned all the lessons and you are able to, if need be, you can also fight with the enemies. Now the time has come for you to go to, or for you to move to the palace and to stay with your father and mother, who are the king and queen. And when he goes, he spends his time as a prince with all the paraphernalias. So similarly, we are all that Atman, we are that self. Nothing can burn us, nothing can destroy us. But every time we are living with fear, we are living with anxiety, we are living with apprehension, we are living with fear of danger. Why? Because we think that we are this body and mind. The moment this ignorance is destroyed, then whatever it may come, I can live the happiest life, peaceful life. To lead that peaceful life, happiest life, at all given circumstances, we have to study Vedanta. So that's what Aparokshanubhuti is also trying to teach us. Till previous class, till verse 40, we try to understand that the self is not this world, or rather still particularly, the self or the Atman is not the body, neither physical body, nor the subtle body, nor the causal body. All the three are anatma, non-self. And I, the observer, chetana, consciousness, spirit, and whereas this body is jada, it is inert. It has its own, it doesn't have its own independent consciousness. It is borrowed from the self. And I am the observer, and that is observed. And I am the druk, and the body, are the three types of bodies are drushya. So I am not the body. Just like I have a vehicle, I owe a vehicle, but I am not the vehicle. I am living in a house. I have a house. I am living in the house, but I am not the house. I'm the owner of the house. So similarly, I am residing in this body, probably at the most, as a reflective consciousness, but I am not the body. So this, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am not the emotions, I am not the thoughts. This has been seen now. Now the author is going to the next step, that is, even I am not this world. Or the world is also comes under the category of non-self, that is anatma. Now, the question may come to you, why this thing is required? Why? Because we feel that the world is true, then what about this world? And also, probably in one of my class, I told very clearly, the philosophy at broad canvas, the philosophy is trying to discuss, analyze three things. One is what? One is God. Who is God? The second is, who am I? Who is the self or being or whatever? The third is world. What is this world which I am seeing? You say Earth, planets, galaxy, solar systems, universe, different worlds, whatever you speak, everything has been coming in this world. So who am I? What is the God? And the third is, what is the world? And what is the relationship between this? Is nothing but constitutes philosophy. So what is philosophy? It is a love of wisdom, we say. Actually, philosophy is trying to tell that's all. What is God? Who is God? Who am I? What I am? And what is this world? Who has done? How did it come into existence? Now, till 40, more or less we understood, who am I? I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I'm not the senses, all these things. Now, at the same time, I am not this world, and world is also an appearance is very much required. Because if you see in the dualistic schools of Vedanta, in other systems of philosophy, for them the world is real. The world exists and the world is real. So there are different realities, either two realities or different realities are accepted in different systems of philosophy. Now this Aparokshanubhuti belongs to the Advaitic school, that is non-dualistic philosophy. For them, the absolute reality is only one, that is Atman or Brahman or the self or consciousness. If the reality is only one, then what about this world? We are experiencing from our birth to death, we are experiencing every day. We may think that whether the Atman is true or not, the world is true for us because of our experience. So what is its nature? How did it come into existence? Who created it? Why is it created? And what is its nature? Whether it is real or an appearance or non-existent. So this question we come. What is this world at all? So for that, from the 41 to probably 30, 40 verses, they they try to tell what is this world, how it came into existence, and why it has come into existence, and how it is different from the self, and why it is not true, it is just an appearance. So these ideas will be discussed in the forthcoming shlokas. Ityatma deha bhagena prapanchasya satyata yathokta tarkashastrena tata kim purusharthatha iti. Thus, atma deha bhagena, by enumerating the difference between the body and the Atman, prapanchasya satyata. Indeed, the reality of the phenomenal world, yatha as ukta, is said, tarkashastrena. Tarkashastra is it is a system of logic. Tataha, then, kim, what, purusharthatha, the ends of human life are served. Now, I will give all the explanation. Thus, the enunciation of the difference between the Atman and the body has asserted, indeed, after the manner of the logical reasoning, the reality of the phenomenal world. But what ends of human life are served thereby? Means here the author is trying to tell, just like the system of logic, they say that there are 9 materials. 7 old school and the new school, 9 materials or substances which are eternal. And among them, the self or the soul is also one type of material. With the help of logic, with the help of rationality, and with the help of inference especially, it has been told and it has been discussed. Now, you've also used rationality, logic and all. Then how do you differentiate yourself from the logical system of philosophy or school of philosophy? One point. Second thing is, if the moksha is your end, then what about the purushartha, other purusharthas? Purushartha means it is 4 we have got. One is dharma, the other is artha. Dharma, though we translate it as a religion, but it is not actually religion. It is dharma, artha. Artha is wealth, any type of wealth. Then the third is kama, any type of desire. The fourth is moksha. So for moksha, all the 3 things are there actually. So this has been discussed in this shloka. And if you see very subtly, if you study the science, materialistic science and the spiritual science, that is spirituality, indeed, both of them are trying to find out a substance, a thing by which the whole world has come. I, you, the mountains, the water, whatever the products we see in this world, everything has come out from where, from what? The unity of existence we speak, from which the whole world has been emerged. They are trying to know. And science said it is atoms. Now from atoms, protons, neutrons, electrons, all these things, they have gone deep. But otherwise, from atom, the whole world has come. Hydrogen atom, helium, nitrogen, all these things we say, oxygen. They're molecules, of course. From atom, the whole world has come up. And also even the life has come from the atoms, they say. How? They are not able to say, but from the atoms, the life has come. Means, from the matter, the life has come. From the subtle matter, life has come. This is what science is trying to tell. And of course, now atoms can be converted as it is a form of condensed form of energy. They're going to little subtle form. In the science, if you see, from matter, the life has come. But whereas from spirituality, spiritual science, they say, no, from life, the matter has come. That is, from consciousness, matter has come. How the fundamental difference is there between science and spirituality. In the materialistic science, they are telling life has come from the atom, from the matter. And we are saying that the matter or the world has come from the consciousness, that is life. That's what difference is. So the science is telling everything has come from the atom. And from what? And again, they're trying to sizzle out what is the nature of the atom and all. Still, they're not able to find out by which the whole world is made up of. They have only hypothetical arguments or theory they have got, that's all. Whereas The beauty of Sanatana Dharma, the beauty of Indian spirituality is with their dedication, with their commitment, with their tapasya austerities, they found out, the Indian rishis, the scientists, spiritual scientists, they found out that from that consciousness, from the Chetana, the whole world has come from. I, you, everyone has come from the Chetana, that is consciousness. So from that consciousness, the matter has come. It is not that consciousness has come from the matter. Matter has come from consciousness. So this is the difference between science and spirituality. So science has reduced everything into anatman, that is atom, whereas in the life is also a product of atom according to them. Probably in abiogenesis, genesis, that is origin of life, they say it is a natural process by which the life is arisen from the non-living matter, such as simple organic compounds. That's what the science is telling. But Vedanta says it is completely opposite, juxtaposition. What is that? From Atman, the consciousness, everything has come. I, you, the body and the world and the stars and the planets, sun, everything, air, water, earth, space, everything has come from the consciousness or the matter. So science is telling from unconscious, conscious comes, and from spirituality is saying from conscious thing, everything has come, even including unconscious. That's what we are trying to say. Now, how to understand this? A subtle concept, subtle idea it is, I can understand. Probably someone is having a golden bangles, golden earrings, golden nose ring, and golden necklace. And every product's price is different. Golden bangles price is different from the golden necklace. And golden necklace price is different from the golden earrings. The golden earrings price is different from the golden nose ring. And the shapes are more or less, they are different. The size is different. Then, can anyone say that all of them are same or different? We say, yes, they're all different. Because something is bangle, something is nose ring, something is earring, so something is necklace. How can you say that same thing? Because I cannot use the same, like bangle in the place of necklace and the necklace in the place of golden ring. It cannot be interchanged, isn't it? So they're all different. I say yes, but no. It is yes, why? Because they have got different names and different utilities, different forms. And from the utility point of view, they are all different and it cannot be interchangeable. From the substance point of view, from the content point of view, they are all one and the same. You remove the gold thing from there, goldness you remove from them, or the gold content you remove from the golden bangle, golden necklace, golden earring, golden nose ring. Then what remains? Nothing remains. So this is what Advaita is trying to tell. The whole world is emerged out from consciousness. Our consciousness is appearing as this world actually. How to understand that consciousness is an appearing as this world, just like the gold has been given some forms. It is a round bangles, it is some particular off circle, then it is a necklace, and small spherical shape, it is a ring, and it is used elongated ones with probably a buttocks, then it is called earring. Names are different based on their functions and shapes. Name and forms are different, but the content gold is same thing in all these things, isn't it? So similarly, the consciousness, everything has come out from the consciousness. In the other systems of philosophy, they understand and they accept the consciousness or the spirit, but they understand, they say that the world is real and many other things they accept. But in the Advaita philosophy, the non-dualistic philosophy, the reality is only one, that is consciousness. So they have to now prove the falsity of the world, falsity of the existence of the world, and falsity of the selves, different selves. For that, they are trying to explain now the world is an appearance. The Brahman is appearing as the world, but otherwise it doesn't exist. Then how to understand that? Just like golden bangle. Gold is appearing as golden bangle, bangles, gold is appearing as golden necklace, gold is appearing as a golden ring, gold is appearing as a earring, nose ring, whatnot. So when the Brahman or the Atman or the consciousness is seen in the space-time goggles, then it looks the world. That's what Swami Vivekananda beautifully he explains the nature of the world scientifically in his Jnana Yoga lectures. When you see, you wear a goggles, isn't it? There are different type of goggles. So you wear a goggle by name called time and space. So you wear the goggles, time and space, and if you see the Brahman or the Atman or consciousness, it appears as a world. You wear the goggle with a green tinge, then for the whole world, it appears for you green color. Oh, the whole world is green. Then you use the goggle with a pink color tinge, tinged glass, then the whole world is pink. And you use the yellow colored tinged glass goggles, then the whole world is yellow. Why? So whether the world was green or it was yellow or it was a pink, it was neither nor. Because of your own goggles, color, it is appearing for you in particular colors, that's all. So similarly, if you use time and space goggle, then you will be seeing the world. You will be seeing the world as, you will be seeing the Brahman as the world. That is what according to the Advaita Vedanta. And then what about Purushartha? So whatever the Nyaya says that there are 9 material substances which are eternal and Atman is only one, whatever they say, no. We may use inference, we may use a rationality, fine, but we accept only one reality, that is Atman, ourself, our consciousness. That's what here author is trying to tell. And then what about these Purusharthas? If only you say Atman, then why do you need dharma? Why do you need artha, wealth? Then why have you given place for the kama desires? Because they are all supplementary for a being to attain moksha, to attain emancipation, to attain liberation. Though our real nature is Atman, but many times we have got desires. We have got desires to enjoy, desires to achieve, desires to earn the money, and so on. So how to do that? And all for that, to uplift the man, because the self, the soul is in different journey in the life. So for them to help, to sustain them, to help them, to supplement them, to go to the final destiny that is called emancipation or liberation, the Dharma Artha Kama is supplementary. They are helping tools. That's all is told in this verse, 41 verse, in a subtle form by the author. Now, Ityatma Deha Bedhena Dehatmatvam Nivaritam Idanim Deha Bedasya Hi Asatvam Sputamuchyate Iti. Thus, Atma Deha Bedena, by the enunciation of the difference between the Atman and the body, Dehatmam, Dehatmatvam, the view that body is the Atman, Nivaritam, denied. Idanim, now, Deha Bedasya, the difference between the body and the Atman, he, explicitly, Asatvam, unreality, Sputam clearly, Uchyate is stated. Means, thus, the view that the body is the Atman has been denounced by the enunciation of the difference between the Atman and the body. Now, it's clearly stated the unreality of the difference between two. So, we have known very clearly in the 40 verses why the Atman cannot be the body and the body cannot be the Atman, and how there is a difference, clearly, distinctly difference between Atman and Anatma. Anatma is body, we have seen very clearly. Now, the question may come, before entering into the world, the author is trying to tell that, okay, that means there are plurality of selves, multiplicity of selves, you understand, accept. Why? There are millions of beings, millions of living beings, animals, mammals, reptiles, carnivorous, herbivorous, omnivorous, insects, birds, human beings. So many types of beings are there. That means, so every being has got one Atman, soul. So you understand by this, you should accept that there is a multiplicity of souls or plurality of souls. So many beings, so many souls. You accept. then so multiplicity of souls or plurality of souls you accept. If you say, we say no. Then how do you say that? There are thousands of different types of beings. Then how do you give, what reason you give? How do you accept it? What rationality you give it? We say that because of reflecting mediums. Say for an example, we have got 100 types of mirrors, convex mirror, concave mirror, and in that different shapes, different colors, different sizes. And now sun has been reflected in these mirrors. Because of the nature and quality of the mirrors, the size of the sun gets differed. Somewhere sun looks very bulky, somewhere sun looks very thin, somewhere sun looks green, somewhere sun looks red, somewhere sun looks curved, somewhere sun looks very flat, somewhere sun looks spherical, all these things. Then is sun is different? No. Sun is only one, but it is appearing different because of the nature of the reflective mediums. And you are seeing so many types of suns. Then there are so many types of suns? No, there's only one sun. Because of the reflecting medium, it is so many suns, it is appearing for us. So similarly, there are so many types of beings, living beings. So all living beings has got reflecting medium called subtle body. That's why you feel that. So many souls, so many Atmans are there. That you have to understand. So multiplicity of soul is denied. And it is irrational also. When you say Atman or the soul or the consciousness is all-pervasive, when it is all-pervasive, how can you say that there are so many infinities, so many things which is all-pervasive? I am limited by this body and mind. So someone can exist. If I say that I'm all-pervasive, then there is no place for another person to exist. Say for an example, in Ayurvedanta society, there is a prayer hall here, shrine. I have pervaded myself with the whole this prayer hall means someone cannot, like Catherine cannot come and cannot enter the prayer hall. Why? Because I have covered the entire hall. So when you say Atman or the consciousness is all-pervasive, then how can you say there are 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or 100 or thousands? You cannot. That is irrational. But then how do you give rational or explanation for different types of beings or living beings? Because of reflecting mediums. So that has been explained in the 43rd shloka. Chaitanyasya ekarupatvat bhedo yukto na kinchit Jivatvam cha brushagneyam rajjo sarpagraho yatha. So author is trying to explain how multiplicity of soul or pluralities of soul cannot be accepted and why he gives an example. Chaitanyasya, of consciousness, of awareness, ekarupatvat, on account of uniformity, means there is only one soul, one conscious, one Atman. Bedaha, the division, yuktaha, not admissible, karichit, at any time. Jivatvam, the individuality, individual being, cha also, brusha means false. Gneyam must be known, rajjo in the rope, sarpagraha, perception of a snake, yatha, just as. Of course, Ireland, there is a story that because of St. Patrick, all the snakes have left from the Ireland. There are no snakes actually in the Ireland. Probably if you have to see the snakes, you may have to see in some zoos only in the Ireland. In generally, you don't see snakes. But whereas if you go to India or South Africa, in forest and all, you can see so many types of snakes. Even in India and all, I've seen so many types of snakes nearby. Where in the ashrama I used to live, so many snakes used to enter there because of the huge land and the forest. A mini forest was there. That's the reason. But here, the forest, the snake is not there. So we have to imagine here only. Ireland people cannot probably understand the example. He's telling that there is a dim light. Say for an example, it was evening sunset. Of course, now sunset happens around 9:30 in Ireland. So around 9 o'clock, you were going somewhere and you saw something and immediately you saw, oh, there's a snake. Immediately you got fear and you shouted and with a fear, there's a snake, snake, snake. Okay, people came. It was not completely dark and it was not completely light was there. That was a middle light, was a very mild light was there. So you saw, you shouted. People said, where? And you showed. And someone put on their mobile light, torch light. Then then they started laughing. Oh, my dear, that is not the snake, that is just rope. It is a rope, a piece of rope had thrown, someone have thrown, so it is appearing for you, snake. No, 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 I saw the snake. You see, my dear. Then you, with the help of light, complete light you saw, then it is, yes, it is a rope, not the snake. So this is the example has been taken. Just like the snake is not there, only rope is there, but we misperceived, we mistook the rope for the snake. So similarly, we are mistaking the reflecting media, subtle bodies for the soul or for the consciousness. So there are so many individuals. How do you explain? There are so many reflecting mediums. That is why there are so many living beings or beings, creatures, and etc. etc. But there is only one soul, or only one Atman, or only one Brahman. So no plurality of souls, no multiplicity of souls. You have to understand. And how to? Or one more example I will give. Now, if you stay in the Dublin itself, you will see the Liffey River. And if you go little, I think near our Spar, in the Dublin 15 also, there's a small stream. And if you go near Tara Hills, little go, then a Trim Castle, I think, near Trim Castle, if you see, Boyne River is there. And there are some small rivers and streams are there, different streams in the Dublin or Ireland. So Boyne River, then Liffey River, and there are so many other rivers out there. All of them are same or all of them are different. They are different and they are same. Both we can say. They're different. Why? Because every river is distinctly can be seen. You can see separate Boyne River, Liffey River, and any other river or streams. Similarly, it is all same. Why? Because the water content, the content of all the rivers are what? Just water. So from the content that is called water, all rivers are same because it is filled with the water only. Of course, some other things can be there in that. That's a different issue. But only as from the content point of view, it is only water. So similarly, in you and in everyone, because we have got life, we are saying that. Why? Because of the consciousness. That consciousness is same thing, just like the water in all the rivers are same thing. So similarly, the consciousness is there in all the beings are same. It is only one. It is appearing as different. Why? Because of reflective consciousness or reflecting medium that is called subtle bodies, or the different bodies or different media. So when this body or when body and mind is destroyed, then the individuality or individuals will be also destroyed. How to understand? When I die, Swami Shantivratananda, like Swami Shantivratananda is there. Now I die. Now where is Swami Shantivratananda exist? No, Swami Shantivratananda is dead. Isn't it? So that same experience, the experience of death, we have every day. Swami, what are you saying? How can you say that we are having experience of death every day? Maybe you are a monk, you are having, we are not having it, and we don't want to have it, of course. No, every day sleep. In the deep sleep, I'm saying, not in the dream sleep. Or just you have slept and you are about to go to sleep, a deep sleep. No. In the deep sleep, are you existing or not? If I say that I am existing, then you are not in the deep sleep. Someone can say that you are existing or not because of your breathing, but otherwise you cannot say that you are living or dead. It actually dead because your body is resting, no doubt, but your mind is completely inactive. It has merged and you are not aware. The only consciousness alone exists. That is the reason. As soon as you get up, you are able to tell, yes, I had a beautiful sleep, I had a wonderful sleep. But you cannot tell me that. You cannot say that how my sleep was, whether it was a deep sleep or it was a dreamy sleep or it was a disturbed sleep. Because it is my own experience, because you are not there. Isn't it? So similarly, in the sleep, what happens? Oh, the whole world ceases to exist. The mind ceases to exist. The body ceases to exist. Only exists is consciousness alone, awareness alone. That is the reason once we get up, we understand that we had a good sleep. So similarly, in the death, what happens? The consciousness alone exists, but the reflecting media called subtle body leaves the physical body. That's why the physical body will not have any consciousness. So that means what? There are so many reflecting mediums. That's all. From this, you cannot say that there are so many beings. So we cannot say that there is a multiplicity of souls or plurality of souls. They are all only reflecting mediums. There's only one soul or one Atman, one conscious. It is appearing as many because of reflecting mediums. When you hear this, you get a question, Swami, this is all fine. But what do I get it from this? What is the help? And what is the use from knowing all these things? This is the best thing or a strong base for our service. In Ramakrishna Mission, if you see Ramakrishna Mutt and Ramakrishna Mission everywhere, a lot of service activities are done. Why? This is the best philosophy. Because the same spirit or the same God or the same Atman is there in you and in me and everyone. So by serving, it is actually serving oneself or serving the God. Oh, he's a troublemaker. I can't help him. I can't love him. I will hate him. No. Hating is not at all good. You should love him. Oh, Swami, please come on. You may be, but I will not, because he has created a problem. Yes, he has created a problem. He is of the nature is a problematic man, no doubt, because that is only with his body and mind. But in reality, is the soul, is the Atman, is the consciousness. And you are that same Atman or consciousness. By hating him, you are hating yourself. So Jesus Christ said, if someone slaps your right cheek, then show your left cheek. Or love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus Christ has told. So far, that is all Vedantic ideas we can say. Because that same substance called Atman or Brahman or consciousness exists in every being. So we have to love each other. Sorry. We cannot hate anyone. Because the same principle, the same consciousness is there in everyone. Irrespective of caste, irrespective of color, irrespective of race, irrespective of sex, irrespective of creed, irrespective of religion, irrespective of country, geographical border, we should love everyone. We should love entire humanity. We should love every being on this creature. Why? Because the same soul exists, the same Atman, the same consciousness in everyone and in everywhere. So, how can we love anyone? How can we love everyone? The saints used to love sinners and saints alike. All the good people, wicked people, they used to love you. How possible? Because they see the truth that the Atman is the same, or the consciousness is residing in everyone. So by seeing that consciousness, they used to love each other. They never hated each other. Radvagnanat kshanenaiva yadvad rajjurihi sarpini bhati tadvit chitihi sakshat vishvakarena kevala. Rajju agnanat, through the ignorance of the rope, kshanenaiva, just in a minute, in an instant, yadvat, just as, rajjuhi, the very rope, sarpini, a snake, bhati, it appears. Tadvat, in the same way, chitihi means consciousness, sakshat, without undergoing any change, vishvakarena, in the form of the phenomenal word, kevala, pure. Now, multiplicity of souls or plurality of souls has been denied. Now the author is coming that what is the nature or why this world is appearing like this. So now the author is trying to explain the reason. As through the ignorance of the real nature of the rope, the very rope appears in an instant as a snake. So also does pure consciousness appear in the form of the phenomenal universe without undergoing any change. Just for a fraction of a moment, for whatever may be the reason, the rope appeared for you a snake. Immediately you got fear. Your heart beatings got increased. Sometimes if the fear is so much, then you got sweating. In Ireland, being in Ireland, getting sweat is something really great. And you started getting sweat and you got tension. So much reactions, body and mind reactions has happened. But when the people came and they explained you, it is a rope, it is not a snake. But still it took some time for you to Accept, understand, accept, and get free. Now, the question is whether the snake was real or not. No, the snake was not real. If the snake was not real, then why did I get these reactions? Because of ignorance. If the snake doesn't exist there at all, how can I perceive? Because of ignorance. How can you perceive? We cannot say that, but you perceived, you wrongly perceived that as a reaction, you had a fear. And when you got a right knowledge, or when you got a knowledge about that it is a rope, not the snake, then all your fear got extinct, your fear has been removed, and you are safe, and you feel happy, you feel courageous, isn't it? Then whether, or when you saw the snake, whether the rope was converted into snake? No, the rope was always rope only. It appeared for you, the rope has been converted into snake. Isn't it? That's what the author is trying to tell here. The consciousness is appearing as the world for you, just like the rope appeared for you as a snake. So in reality, there was no snake at all. There was only rope. So similarly, there is only consciousness. Because of ignorance, it is appearing for us, just like rope appeared as a snake. So the consciousness or the self or the Atman is appearing as world. That's what has been told the author. Now, what is the causation? According to the Advaita Vedanta, if you ask, I will tell, please listen to my Tattva Bodha lecture, then you'll be able to understand. But in short form, if you want me to say, the Brahman, from that consciousness, with the help of Maya, with the help of its power, the space comes, space is emerged, from the space, air comes, from the air, fire comes, from the fire, water comes, from the water, earth comes. The 5 elements. From these 5 elements, the whole world is made up of. From the Brahman itself, all these 5 elements have come, and the whole world is made up of this permutation and combination of these 5 elements. That means what? From Atman, the world has come. So did the Atman has been changed? The Atman did get modified itself into the world, just like the milk gets modified and converts to yogurt. So similarly, the Atman, does it modifies and converts into the world? No, it is just an appearance. Just like the rope never got converted into snake, but rope appeared as a snake. So how do you understand that? Can you explain? They say, yes, you take a stick and you light the stick, and in the tip of the stick, there is a fire. I mean, it is flaming with a flame. Then you go on speed, with a speed, if you circle it, then it looks like there is a circle of fire. Oh, there's a circle of fire. Is it circle of fire? There was no circle of fire, only a stick, which is thin and straight and linear. But because of your rotation making it, it got an experience of circle of fire, but there was no circle of fire actually. But it appeared for us, there is a circle of fire. So similarly, the Atman or the consciousness of the self is appearing as the world. So it is an appearance, it is not there in reality. Or still one more example I will give you. In the dream, oh, I was a king, I was a president of Ireland, I was in the palace, I had so many people to look after. My bank balance was so much, and probably 50,000, 60,000 euros, my monthly salary was there. I was able to travel in any part of the world. So nice, beautiful. But now your dream broke and you were the same person. But in the dream, you went to the different parts of the continent. You went to Australia, you went to Italy, you went to USA, you went to Africa, and you enjoyed the world with the great paraphernalia. You had your own flight because you were the president of Ireland, and you had so many people. You had good delicacies. And what all things you wanted to eat, you had everything at the fingertips because you were president of the country. But as soon as you get up, no. Only then were the things were there all there? No. Then, but I did perceive, yes, your own mind has taken all that forms of aeroplane, of the countries, of the food, of your recreation, and of the people. Your own mind has taken all these forms and you had an experience. So similarly, the conscious is appearing as the world. So actually, in reality, the world is not existing. Means it is not non-existent, it is an appearance. That's what we are saying. So how to understand till little more in a depth, What is this appearance? Let me try to explain in the next week. Thank you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.